This is Sean Hansen for Video Diary Sprint 5. This week we are tasked with 3 jobs of getting the terrain model up and running with UV repeating and have colliders on that, and then continue on with the collision chain. However, for me, I just got the terrain built and running, so let me just run this. And I'll let that build in the background real fast while I discuss. So for the terrain, I got that all set up so the user can set the length and have repeating UVs. As you will see here, I have this lovely texture from random art site, blah, 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 and repeating and is running off a texture height map of my creation. All right, and we'll just minimize that because this is also where I have my little test code. That way. So I have it set up like so here, where it is based on the image scale. I don't use a unit size and scale back up, so it's all basically 1-to-1 with that. Repeating UV math, the triangle index, and creating the vertex stride. Today, when I was doing the demo code, I came upon some interesting new bugs, and a couple of them were easy to fix, and a few not so much. So when I was doing my key states, my key releases, I found that key release was no longer working, and so I did some quick debugging, and I found, for some reason, my destructor, which has the clear code for my list of key releases that it's watching, was being called on creation. So every time this was being called to create insert, right after it inserted it, it would clear. And I've yet to trace that one down due to being in a file that I can't access for some reason. So that's going to need to be chased down over the weekend. And otherwise, a new implementation in the engine during my test was I wanted to test changing textures in the middle of the game dynamically. So open this up real quick. So we get my little tank right here, nice red, and if I hit the T key, it'll turn green, and back will turn red. And while doing that, I had a couple of ways of doing it where I just called this entire function, this entire call, and after hitting the key. But what that would do is then create a model, and I didn't like that. So what ended up happening is I did this call, test object texture 0, then equals that. So that got me thinking to make that into a function call called mi graphics objects change texture, and that'll be fully implemented by the end of the week as well. And lastly, engine research. I'm starting to figure out the structure for my thing and for my time, and what I'm probably going to do is put those all in the time manager right now since it's all hooked up. And then the particle system will be its own individual system that'll hook up to game objects like so. And that ends Sprint Diary for 5. Yes.